We ran out of soda yesterday, so I made some Crystal Light that we had. Man, I forget how good it is. Go through phases where we drink more soda, more Crystal Light. But don't worry, I just stocked up on Diet Mountain Dew, so we'll be back to Old Faithful soon. So I'm finally getting around to doing the Q&A video. I haven't been putting it off or anything. I just keep having stuff happen and just kind of got out of the swing. So make myself do it now because I plan... Sorry, Peter wants to do updates. So I'm doing it now because tomorrow I'm going to start the daily vlog back. I'm excited to get it going again. I need to get back in the swing of things. I've definitely gained a little bit of weight since getting off. Probably not a ton, but I haven't been going crazy or anything. Unlike Range, if you hear him. I haven't had any days, first thing, I don't know if any of us asked that, but just to touch on it. I haven't had any days where I went supremely over. I've just been going probably a consistent, 1,500 calories over maintenance on average. I've probably been around 4,000 to 5,000 calories every day, which isn't crazy. My maintenance is generally about 3,500. So nothing super excessive. If you're someone who gains weight on 2,500 calories, it might sound crazy, but for me, it's not. So I know I put a little bit on, but nothing too extreme. And once I get back into counting, which actually today is day 2 of counting again, I wanted to go into Monday not feeling gross from being a little bit over the day before. So yesterday was 2,500 calories. Today's gonna be 2,500. So I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so on to the questions. I apologize if I miss anything. I know people probably ask questions on multiple videos, but I'm going to do the questions that were on the final video. That's because where I got the most of them. So here we go. Did I use a multivitamin? I did. I used Orange Triad religiously the entire time. There's a lot of good multivitamins, a lot of bad ones too, but this is one that I feel is pretty solid, and it's got the added joint support, which, helps, doesn't help, I don't know. It seems to be okay. So that's what I used, and, seemed fine. Did I get any blood work done? I did. So I'm going to be making a video on that soon as well, as soon as I find my original blood work. So I had blood work done right before starting this, and then I had it done right after finishing it. And I need to compare the two, but someone who will remain nameless, just call her Courtney, lost my original blood work, so I've got to find it. It's here somewhere, but we'll see. And I sent it to Alan, and if I can't find it, I'll just see if he's still got a copy of it. But yes, I did blood work. The only thing I know for sure, everything looks really good from me just looking over it, not comparing the two. Vitamin D was slightly low. Barely, but a little bit low. So that's not shocking at all, but other than that, it looked pretty good. But I'll go more in depth and actually compare the two to see what changed or what didn't change as soon as I find my old stuff. Were there any days where I was way over or way under on calories? There were not. There were a few days where I was under, nothing way under, because I ate the ice cream on video every day, and that was 2,000 out of the 2,500 calories. So there were a few days where I just 1 or 2 scoops of protein and just did not feel like having the rest. But for the most part, no. This is definitely the most consistent diet I've ever done. Just because, this holds you completely accountable. So no extremes in either direction. I already answered it, but am I going to shave or am I going to grow it out? I am growing it out. So we've got quite a ways to go. Courtney is starting to hate it, but that's just because, I have to wipe my face a lot when I'm eating. Sometimes I don't notice. But I'm growing that, and I'm growing my hair, which is just absolutely ridiculous looking right now. But, it's starting to grow. I always usually cut it a little bit before this, just because, it looks ridiculous. I'm well aware. But I want it really long. I want a pretty long beard. I'm not sure how long I want to go with the beard, but I want it to be pretty long and long hair. So I'm suffering through it. She's going to have to deal with it. And yeah, growing it. How long until I think the diabetes sets in? Any day now. Was I working out during the transformation? I was for about the first maybe, 60 days. I don't know exactly. The last 40 or 50 days of it, I just completely lost all motivation to do much of anything. So no, I stopped working out. Unfortunately, I don't think it made a huge impact just because, it was a cut and I didn't have a lot of muscle to preserve anyway. But no cardio the entire time. And then lifting completely stopped. Like I said, around the halfway point, a little bit after. How much muscle did I retain? Probably most of it, but since I was just getting back into the gym after my pec surgery, pretty recently before starting this, I really didn't have a lot. So I think I lost at least 30 pounds of muscle after my surgery back at the end of 2014 and had not gained much of it back at all before starting this. So the fact that I'm really small, makes sense just because I lost so much for the surgery. So don't think I lost a whole lot in the cut. Favorite flavor of ice cream? I got to go with Old Faithful, the one that stayed the best the entire time, and that is Chocolate Therapy. Ben & Jerry's Chocolate Therapy. Why didn't you lower your calories more since you ended up not really working out? Couple reasons. First of all, I don't think that working out really affects how many calories you should be eating. I'm on the fence as whether or not I think it affects it at all. But even if it does, I don't think it affects it that much. So I'm not going to lower calories and make the diet harder. It's already hard enough, and I already know that I'm going to lose weight either way. So I wasn't going to throw another thing in there that could possibly cause me to lose control. Would lowering calories have made it go quicker and possibly made my progress a little better? Sure. But, I had good, consistent progress. There are a few times where weight stayed the same for a week or two, but, that's normal. So going from 192 to 160, as low as 158, but the day away in was 160. That's pretty good progress. So I didn't feel like there was any need. How were your bathroom habits with this diet? That was the number one question throughout this whole thing, was about poop, which is hilarious. I would literally never in a million years think of asking someone that. It's not a problem. Everyone's asking it, so that's cool, I guess. But I really don't know why. It really doesn't make any sense to me why people want to know this. But 100% normal. I'm not lactose intolerant, so I don't see any diet other than an all habanero pepper diet affecting my stomach really in any way. So no, there was no change in bathroom habits, I guess, because fiber's really low. As I said, not much fiber there, yeah. So kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I've never found that making sure I get my recommended amount of fiber versus days or even weeks where I barely have any makes any difference. So bathroom, 100% normal. How did I feel? Energy levels? Energy levels were good at first, but right around the time, a little bit before I stopped working out, energy levels just plummeted. I didn't feel like doing anything, wasn't motivated, had no energy, just felt like crap, super grumpy. So yeah, it was terrible. Other than the super obvious, this probably isn't a great diet for you to do, and it's hard to do. I definitely don't recommend it, and it's definitely not good for you. Would love it if you did keto, but you said you're bulking now. Would love to see that too. I've done keto before, back before finding IFYM, and I started a series because my wife, Courtney, wanted to do a keto cut because, I don't know, she just thinks if she gets in the mindset of being really strict that it'll be easier. It lasted way less time than when she just counts calories. So there was only 2 videos on it. But the only way I would do something like that would be if the channel got really big and I wanted to do demonstrations where I, showed this and then I did it versus a keto cut versus another cut. I don't know, if there was something like that where I just series sort of back to back, but I would have to get back to where I was is the thing. If I did it now, it would be skewed because I'm going to look better because I'm continuing a cut. So if I did 100 days or even 30 or 60 days of keto, I'm going to look way better than I did when I ended with this because I've already lost 32 pounds on this. So it's not really fair. And keto works. Nobody's saying keto doesn't work. It definitely works. All the diets work. Anything that gets you to eat less is going to work. It's just there's no reason for it. It's just restrictive for absolutely no reason. What was your workout program? So I've never followed a specific workout program other than trying out Lane Norton's PHAT program years ago, which I really liked. But other than that, I always do my own thing. I've basically done the exact same workout program for the past 12 years, maybe more. Every once in a while, I'll switch something up, do one thing instead of another, but the same base program. So if you want to see what I do, it's basically a sort of standard bodybuilding type of split. But if you want to see what I do exactly, you can follow me on Fitocracy. My name's just Jaklcrow, Jaklcrow, And that info is in the description of every video. So follow me there, and then you can see when I work out and exactly what I do. But it's not just a program you can look up. How tall am I? I am 6 even. Hi, it's great what you've done. Thank you. But how do you know if your blood values are good? If you do not have high blood glucose? Excuse my skepticism, but I've been overweight all my life, and I've been dealing with that with diets and others. And although I have diets in which I can eat sweets every day in the morning, in the end, I always end up eating more and more sweets, and I do not know how to stop. And of course, I do not lose weight. How to know that this would really work for me? I mean, to be able to eat, as you say, everything I like and still be healthy. I love sweets, and it has been difficult for me to leave them. I would really like you to clarify this. I congratulate you on your achievement, and thank you for sharing this. So, with that, I actually already answered some on there because it felt like more of like an important question. But basically what I take from that is sort of a misunderstanding of the project, which I've dealt with the entire time I've had this channel, and it's completely understandable. So I'm not telling anyone that they should eat like this at all. I'm not telling anyone they should eat half the amount of ice cream I eat every day. All I'm doing is trying to show people that if you want to have that Snickers bar, it's okay. I'm not trying to say just throw healthy food to the wind and just eat as much junk food as you want and just fit it in and you'll be fine. No, like we want to eat as much whole food as possible, for sure. Micronutrients are very important. This is simply an extreme example to show people that they don't need to be afraid of junk food. That's it. So as far as how do I know if my glucose levels are fine, what my blood work's going to show, even though I did the blood work and I've got the before and after, before somewhere, and I'm going to compare it and I'm going to tell you guys, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't. Zero. I'm just doing this for you because I didn't do this as a demonstration of a healthy diet. I did this as a demonstration of weight loss being possible no matter what the diet is. So unless I'm like a day away from dying, I don't care. I don't think I did any irreversible damage, but things could be terrible. All my values could be horrible, and I wouldn't care because I know they're going to rebound, and that's not what it's about. I'm not trying to convince anyone that this is healthy. I'm trying to convince people that it's okay and it's healthy to have some of this stuff, not all of it. Now, if my values are all good, then that's awesome. It's just another argument for counting calories being healthy, but that's not the point. What do you think about the amount of protein you had each day? It seems like you only had 80 to 100 grams and still got really lean, just like you did in the fast food series. Do you think 80 to 100 grams is enough for a cut? I think 80 to 100 grams is enough for a cut to be successful, but I don't think it's enough for it to be optimal. So that's really the whole point. Like, as long as you're not getting just a ridiculously low amount of protein, like you'll be fine and you'll still lose the weight, but you're not going to retain as much strength. You're not going to retain as much muscle. So I definitely think it would have been better to get more, especially since I wasn't working out and I didn't have a lot of muscle to retain. I don't think you would have seen as much of a difference as you could. Say I would have done this back when I did my fast food cut that he's talking about, where I was like 190 pounds at like 8 or 9% body fat. Then I think that you would have noticed a difference. But here, I really don't think so. What was your water consumption per day? It was about a glass or two every like 3 days. I basically live on Diet Mountain Dew and coffee and then Crystal Light sometimes. So I don't drink a lot of just water. I've been trying to drink a little bit more lately. And when I go to the gym, that's part of it too. When I go to the gym, I drink a lot because I usually drink like 2 24-ounce freaking water bottles at the gym. So I drink a lot more when I'm doing that. And when I start running, I drink more just because I come back and I'm really thirsty. But normal, just day to day, I don't drink much water. Did you happen to measure around your waist to see how many inches you shrunk down? What are your maintenance calories and what will your bulk be? I didn't do measurements. I think I might have done measurements once in my entire life. And I think it was because I was going to do like some transformation contest that, I never actually did. I don't ever do measurements. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, when I look good in the mirror, when I'm happy in the mirror, if my measurements haven't changed, what am I going to do? Be like, oh shit, I didn't succeed. I need to keep going even though I'm happy. I don't care about the measurements. So measurements are a good thing, like to help keep clients motivated when you're personal training and stuff like that. Or if you have like a ton of weight to lose, because the scale can be so deceiving. And if it's hard for people to stick to a diet, if you have a new client who's severely overweight and they're going to be so sad if they bust their ass every week just to see no numbers move, which is very possible. doing measurements really helps. So when I was personal training, I would always do measurements, and we'd always see those numbers fall, even if the scale didn't. So doing measurements for that kind of thing to help keep people who may not stay motivated more motivated is awesome. But for me, I'll never do measurements. Other than, every once in a while I'll measure my bicep. I think I did it recently, and I'm like, oh my God, this is sad. And for the bulk, it's possible I would do it just to see how much I grow, but I don't ever do it for weight loss. Oh, and then maintenance calories are around 3,500. So I'm probably going to work my way up to that after I'm going to do at least 2 weeks more of the cut once I start back on Monday. Maybe more. I'd like to get down to like 8%, but we'll see. Like, I don't feel like sticking to a diet for 2 more months. So I'm not really sure. Either way, I'm be counting, but like I said, I don't feel like cutting for a lot longer. This has been a very grueling cut. So we'll see. We'll see where I am after 2 weeks and then assess from there. But what I'm going to do when I do bulk is just reverse diet, basically. And that's not to prevent any type of metabolic damage or anything like that. It's just to prevent overeating. So I'm just going to go up by about 300 calories every week until I get to around 3,500, and I'll sort of play with it. If I get to 3,200 and I feel like I'm getting a little bloated, then I'll slow it down. But we'll just take it up a couple hundred every week until I get to a spot that feels good. Sit there for a little bit, adjust accordingly. So going to keep cutting or bulk now. If cutting, going by time or goal weight or visual. You haven't mentioned it. How is school going? Stressful to be cutting on a restrictive diet and introduce something new like school. Very true. I just talked about the cutting and the bulking. And as far as am I going to go by goal weight or visual, it'll be visual. Goal weight's 196 pounds at 7% body fat. So we missed the goal. But yeah, it'll just be visual. So it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I don't need to be super shredded because, I know I'm not going to maintain, 6% body fat on a long cut, especially since I have so much muscle to get back. But as long as I'm, relatively lean, something I'm happy with, then, that's where I'll stop. As far as school goes, it's been straight A's since starting this, I'm proud to say. Fortunately, I wasn't too demotivated to actually keep doing schoolwork, so that's good. So I've gotten 3 A's in the 3 months since starting this, so that's awesome. So if we're wondering if this diet shuts your brain down, it might make it act a little bit crazy, but it didn't shut it down. All right. So that is all the comments on that video. If I missed anybody's that put them on other videos or Facebook or something, just, ask me on other stuff and I'll either address it in another video or just respond to you on here. But I really appreciate everyone for following along. The support has been fantastic. So it really helped through this, horrible 100 days. So thanks again. You're all awesome. And I really hope everyone continues to follow the channel. I'm not entirely sure what the next project is going to be. There's going to be stuff from time to time, but for now, starting tomorrow, we're just going to do a daily vlog, which will be awesome. So, we may just roll with that for a long time. I don't know. We'll see. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like, comment, and please share, because the whole point is getting this out to as many people as possible. So share these videos. All right. Thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow.